Today I'm making a creamy green bean casserole with a homemade cream sauce. So to start, I'll be using 2 cans of green beans. I prefer the French style green beans, but one of these is cut green beans. You could also use fresh. I will link my older recipe video using fresh green beans. Here I'm going to be using some fried onions, and for those of you looking for the original French's green bean casserole recipe, here it is. You could pause this and screenshot it or write it down. I'm also going to be using 1 pint of heavy cream. Sometimes I use evaporated milk. If that's more convenient, you could try that. I'll also use 6 ounces of bacon, half of a small onion diced, 1 pint of fresh mushrooms. These are white button mushrooms that I've sliced and chopped. Here I have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm going to season with some onion powder, garlic powder, and cracked black pepper, and a pinch of salt, basically to taste. So to start this, in a cold pan, I'm going to add my bacon, and I'm going to turn the heat on. Doing this will help render more of that bacon fat. So I'm just going to cook this. Now that I've rendered a little bit of that bacon fat, I'm going to add my chopped or diced onion. And I'm just going to continue to cook the bacon and saute the onion until translucent. Now I'm going to add my mushrooms and continue to saute and cook. So I'd like to mention that if you are not a fan of mushrooms or bacon in this, you can exclude it. What you'll need to do is add 3 tablespoons of butter and saute your onions. And then from there you can work on your cream sauce. Here I'm just going to sprinkle in some of that garlic and onion powder. 1/4 teaspoon of each works. Give that a mix. I'm going to add some freshly cracked black pepper. And the pepper and the onion powder, garlic powder, and even the salt is to taste. Now I'm going to add my all-purpose flour, give that a mix, and it's going to create a roux. And once that's cooked for about 45 seconds to a minute, you'll want to add your heavy cream. Give it a mix until it starts to gently simmer. And once it's mixed and combined, you'll want to add your pinch of salt, and that is to taste. And now I'm going to add my drained green beans, give it a mix, and that's done. I'm going to add this to a baking dish. You'll need at least a 2-quart baking dish or something like an 8x12. If you're using a 9x13, you might need to double this recipe. So now I'm going to sprinkle in just a little bit of my fried onions, give that a mix. I'm going to cover this in aluminum foil, and I will be baking this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Then I'm going to uncover it, and of course you'll want to do this carefully. It's probably best if you don't do this while in the oven, but I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit more of those fried onions and let it continue baking for another 5 minutes, and then it's done. I'm going to let this set for about 10 to 15 minutes and then serve. I'm going to be serving this alongside roasted chicken. If you want that recipe, check the description, or I'll have the link here somewhere in this video. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.